Very good morning and welcome all of you to this pre-market session. Today let us discuss the next action plan for the day, and we'll start with the Dogmatic method. Before we start, I apologize for this delayed start today. So let's begin with this Dogmatic method and Bank Nifty. Now as we see that the previous trade we had bought a call option at this point in time, and after buying a call option the price had managed to increase, and as the price managed to increase we did get dynamic system cautions on top, wherein we would have definitely shifted over to secure our profits. And after securing our profits, the price did come down yesterday, and at this point it has told us to exit call option and buy a put option. But then since intraday 3 long and intra-week long are still in buy, we would have checked the Nifty, the Tenkai signal, and as we check the Nifty, at the same time in Nifty, as we see, there is a very clear long signal edge point, because of which we wouldn't have taken a put option there, we wouldn't have exited the call option also. So we are currently still holding on to the call option there in Bank Nifty. Now how long do we hold on to this call option? Now we will hold on to this call option until the Nifty intraday 3 long signal and even intra-week long signal edge point is also nearby. So we will wait until that gives us a very clear sell. Now once it gives us a sell, that is when we will go ahead, exit the call option in Nifty. In Bank Nifty. Got it? So this is what we will do here. But then if in case the price manages to go up instead of coming down today, and then as the price manages to go up, if any zigzag appears on top before this intraday 3 speed signal gives us a buy, if the speed signal still remains in sell, and if any major zigzag appears on top, that is when we can exit our call option directly. Or if the price manages to go up and if this action tells us to buy a call option, then we can hold on to the call option which we have already bought. And moreover, yesterday when we shifted over, at this point in time we would have shifted over directly to the next contract, isn't it? Just because today is the expiry of the contract, if you are trading in the weekly option. So this is about Bank Nifty. So let us check what's happening in Nifty. Now in Nifty, at this point in time, it had told us to buy a call option yesterday morning in the opening hours. Now after it told us to buy a call option, the price did not manage to move up much. It came down instead in the last few hours, and as the price came down, the intraday 3 speed signal gave us a sell. But then when it gives us a sell, there is a very clear long signal edge point. That is the reason the action is still telling us to hold the call option. So we will hold on to it. There is an intraday 3 long signal edge point as well as intra-week long signal edge point. Now, if the price of Nifty comes down and if intraday 3 long signal gives us a sell, that is when the action may tell us to buy a put option. But when it tells us to buy a put option, we have to remember that as per dynamic system, the Nifty position is still in long, so we have to check the Tenkai signal. That is, we will check Bank Nifty. Is there any zigzag or long signal edge point? If it is there, then we will avoid the trade. If it is not there, then we can go ahead and do the trade. But instead, if the price manages to go up, and if intraday 3 speed signal gives us a buy, and if it tells us if it gives us a buy, then it will still tell us to hold call option, and we are anyways holding a call option, and then we will wait for a very clear exit. So this is about Nifty here. Let us check the same Nifty and Bank Nifty as per dynamic system level 2 trading method. This is the case of Nifty here. As we all know that we are still holding on to the long position. There is no trend edge point on top, so without anything it is coming down. So we will use a range of 4 or speed signal, whichever is lowest. So range 4 is 10,644. speed signal is 10,606. So speed signal is the lowest. So in this case, let us calculate 0.5% from there. It is 53 points. So it is 10,553. If the price of the Nifty trades below 10,553, that is when we can exit long and get into a short trade as per dynamic system. Until then, we will hold on to it, and let us check what's happening in Bank Nifty. This is a case of Bank Nifty. Even in Bank Nifty, as you know that we are holding long position, there is no trend edge point on top, so we will use the range 4 or speed signal. Range 4 is 22,134 and speed signal is 22,016. So speed signal is the lowest. So let us reduce 0.5% from there. It is almost 21,906. So if the price of Bank Nifty trades below 21,906, that is when we will exit long and get into a short trade for today. So this is as of Bank Nifty and Nifty dynamic system level 2 trading method. Let us come back to Nifty and Bank Nifty as per the dynamic superpower trading method for all those people who are trading as per this advanced concept. Now in this case of Nifty, there is a major dynamic system caution on top from where the price has managed to come down. So as it came down, now you would have definitely looked at intraday 1 long or intraday 3 speed, whichever gives us a sell first. So in this case, as you see here very clearly, intraday 1 long signal has given us a sell very earlier. So based on this, we would have already taken a short position without any doubt. And after taking a short position, as the price came down, as we discussed earlier, since it is in a long-term up direction, and even as per dynamic system, we are still holding on to a long position. At this, yes. At this intraday 3 long signal edge point, we would have exited our short position. We would have also got into a long trade. Now, after getting into a long trade, now if the price manages to go up, and if there is any zigzag caution on top, either an intraday 3 or an intra-week, then we can exit long and get into a short trade just because the weekly caution persists on top. Or if the price manages to straight away come down, then we will wait for intraday 3 long and intra-week long signal to give us a sell. Once it confirms the sell, we will exit long and get into a short trade quickly. Now, once intra-week long signal gives us a sell, then the pressure increases downward. So this is the case. And let us check what's happening in Bank Nifty. Now, even in Bank Nifty, there is a major dynamic system caution on top, after which the price has managed to come down. We would have waited for intraday 1 long or intraday 3 speed, whichever gives us a sell first. Now, based on that, intraday 1 long signal has given us a sell very earlier. So we would have exited long and got into a short trade. Now, after getting into a short trade, now there is no long signal edge point or anything as of now. We will hold on to it. Since intraday 3 speed signal has also managed to give us a sell, we will hold on to it. We will wait until the price comes down and reaches any long signal edge point. That's where we can exit long and exit short and get into a long trade. But then just observe as the price starts coming down, and once it reaches the long intraday 3 long signal edge point, by then if the price of Bank Nifty is trading below 22,499, then you just have to wait. Don't exit your short and get into a long trade immediately. You can at least shift over your short position, but after that, wait for the price to go up and wait for intraday 3 speed or intraday 1 long itself to give you a buy without any caution, just because 22,499 is a weekly long trend value, and the weekend is still not over. During the week, it has managed to trade be above that weekly long trend, but then if it manages to close below that weekly long trend, then this weekly caution will become quite strong, and then once intra-week long signal also gives a sell, there will be a lot of pressure for the price to come down. Okay, so this is how you can trade in Bank Nifty as per the dynamic superpower trading method. So now let us move on to your favorite stocks. Now to start with, Mr. Money wants to check Karur Vaishya Bank. This is the case of Karur Vaishya Bank. As you can see here, the action says exit call and buy a put option. There is a point where it has told you to buy a put option. You would have got into a trade, but then just watch it carefully because intraday 3 long signal edge point is very nearby. If the price manages to come closer, it may ask you to exit the put option immediately, and the preparation is also telling you to get ready to exit a put option. Mr. Chetan Patel wants to check Godrej. Is it Godrej Industries? Godrej CP. So this is a case of Godrej. You can see here, it is still telling us to hold a call option. Earlier at somewhere at this point, it has told us to buy a call option. After buying, the price has managed to come down intraday 3 speed signal pointing downward. But since the intra-week long signal edge point has happened, you can see in the reason it is written as intra-week long signal edge point. So that is the reason it is asking you to hold the call option. So hold on to it until it very clearly tells you to exit the call option. Okay, so this is the case, but then if the price manages to go up and if it reaches any edge point on top, then definitely exit the call option. Concor and TVS. This is the case of Concor. You can see here as of now it says stay tuned for the next trade. There is no trading opportunity. You have to wait because there is a zigzag and a edge point on top. So wait for the price to give you a next clear opportunity. TVS, let us check TVS. In this case of TVS also, it is telling us stay tuned for the next trade because as the price has managed to come down, previously it has told us to buy a put option, but after that there is a zigzag right at the bottom because of which it has made us to exit, and as of now we are waiting. If the price manages to go down and if there is a zigzag breakdown, that is when it will ask us to buy a put option once again. So watch it closely, it may give you an entry. Sangeeta wants to check India Bull. Well, Ms. Sangeeta, there is no stock India Bull. In this, you have to tell me whether it is India Bull Real Estate or India Bull Housing Finance. ICICI Bank. Well, there is a case of ICICI Bank. Even in ICICI Bank, you can see here the action says hold call option. The price has managed to come down intraday 3-speed signal giving us a sell, but then there is a very clear long signal edge point because of which it has not allowed us to sell. It is still telling us to hold a call option. So we have to wait until it tells us to exit it. India Bulls Housing Finance. There is India Bull Housing Finance. You can see as of now there is no trade. It is in complete sideways for many days now. You can see here total sideways movement, but as the price is coming down, if the price manages to go below this intraday 3 long signal, that is when it may ask you to buy a put option. Anyways, it is telling you to be prepared to buy a put option now. Mr. Kumaresh wants to check Pidilite. Well, Pidilite is telling us to hold a call option, and you can see that even if the price has come down, there is a series of zigzags and long signal edge points, both in intraday 3 and intra-week. So until and unless this intraday 3 long signal confirms a sell, or if intra-week gives us a sell, it is not going to exit, ask us to exit the call option. But if the price manages to go up, then that is where somewhere if a zigzag appears, that's when it will ask us to exit the call option. So you have to hold until then. M&M. There's M&M. Even in M&M, we are holding on to the call option. There is no clear sell yesterday. It is an intraday 3-speed signal sell with a long signal edge point. That is the reason it has not allowed us to sell. So hold on to your call option until it tells you to exit it. There is a case of M&M Finance. Even in M&M Finance, we are holding on to a call option. There is a beautiful trade as it has given us a buy signal long back, and after that the price has moved up nicely. We are waiting for a very clear exit. Wait until it tells you to exit a call option. And Mr. Tyagarajan wants to check Reliance and HDFC. In Reliance, as you see here, there is no trade as it is telling us stay tuned for the next trade. But the preparation is also telling us get ready to buy a put option. So watch it closely. Probably in the morning, if there is a zigzag breakout early morning today at opening, it can give us an entry to buy a put option. Watch it closely. And once intra-week long signal also confirms a sell, that's when the price may go down even further. Or else, even if it asks us to buy a put option in the opening today, and by 9:55, if intra-week long signal does not give us a sell, then immediately it may also ask us to exit the put option very soon. So you have to watch it closely. HDFC. Well, there's a case of HDFC. You can see here it is telling us stay tuned for the next trade. As of now, there is no trade, but preparation is telling us get ready to buy a call option. If the price manages to move up, that's when it may ask us to buy a call option. Or else if the price comes down, below this intra-week long signal, that's when it may ask us to buy a put option also. So watch it closely. As of now, there is no trade. You have to wait for the next entry here. Mr. Usman wants to check Hero Moto Corp. There is a case of Hero Moto Corp, Mr. Usman. You can see here it has told us to buy a put option yesterday at around 15 hours. That is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You would have bought a put option. Now, after buying a put option, now watch it closely. It is also telling us get ready to exit put option. Today in the opening itself, it may ask you to exit a put option just because intra-week long signal edge point has come. So watch it closely as soon as the market opens. SRP Creatives wants to check Mindtree, Sun TV, Sun Pharma. This is a case of Mindtree. You can see here it is still telling us to hold a call option. Now, somewhere at this point, it has asked us to buy a call option, after which the price has managed to move up. It is still in profit, but then we have to hold on to it until it tells us to clearly exit the call option. Sun TV. In Sun TV, as of now, there is no trade. You have to wait for the next trading opportunity. The preparation is also not telling us to be prepared for any new trade, but then wait until this golden arrow mark points downward. Probably then it may ask us to buy a put option. So you have to hold. Sun Pharma. Mr. Usman, as far as Hero Motor Corp is concerned, as I told you, it has already told us to buy a put option, and it may give us an exit in the morning, in the opening. But if the price manages to come down today further, then there are chances by 9:55 it may again ask us to buy a put option. So we have to wait until it tells us to do so. But as of now, we are already in a put option, and we are going to exit it in the morning today, opening. The Sun Pharma, it is telling us to hold put option, as you see here. Right at the top, probably at this point, once the zigzag caution appeared, now that is when it has asked us to buy a put option, but it is also telling us to get ready to exit put option because there is a edge point preparation here. So right in the opening, it may ask us to exit, so watch it closely. TCS, Mr. Manjunath. There is a case of TCS. Even in TCS, it has told us to buy a put option at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and after that the price has slightly managed to come down. And as the price managed to come down, there is an intra-week long signal edge point that has been preparing. So early morning in the opening, it may ask us to exit the put option. So watch it closely. In the opening itself, you may get an exit in TCS. Let us check Oro Pharma. And in Oro Pharma, as you can see here, there is no trade as of now. You have to wait. If the price manages to go up, then only after the intraday 3 zigzag breakout, it may ask you to buy a call option. Or if the price starts coming down, then intraday 3 speed signal has to give you a sell for you to tell you to buy a put option. But if you're trading in Oro Pharma, since intraday 3 long and intra-week long are still in buy, do check the Tenkai signal before you do the trade. and Sun Pharma will act as its Tenkai signal because it is the stock with the highest weightage under the pharma sector. Any update on Bank Nifty bullish or bearish in morning session? Well, Mr. Or Mrs. Vanti, whoever it is. Now, as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, anyways, it has told us to buy a put option, but then we have not done the trade because of the Tenkai signal. But then there are chances the price can dip down to reach the long signal edge point. So, and the reason being there is a pressure on top. It can happen, but then we will not get into any predictions here. We will just follow what the dynamic live Dogmatic method is telling us to do, and as long as it tells us to do, we will stick on to the trade that we are doing. So this is a case of Nifty and Bank Nifty and all your stocks. I hope all your questions and doubts has been clarified. Is there any other question? Mr. Ajmal wants to check Nifty. As you know, Mr. Ajmal, we discussed in the beginning of the session, and as far as Nifty is concerned, it is still a hold call option just because yesterday when the price came down, it directly reached a intraday 3 long signal edge point. We are holding on to the call option. So once the price comes down and trades below this intra-week long signal, that's when it may ask us to exit call and buy a put option. Until then, we will still hold on to the call option. So this is all about today's session. Looks like there are no doubts. So gentlemen, thank you all for joining today's session. Wish you all a happy trading and wish you all great success and great profits to come by your way today. And with this, let us meet once again in the next session. Until then, thank you for joining and have a good day.